Hey Genderqueer Chat, Stacy, and it's Tuesday, and yeah, I really hope this video works. So, what happened was, last week, my eCam started freaking out on me. So, I have a little netbook, and there's a webcam on there, and it didn't want to work. So, I don't really know what was going on with it, but it was acting like it was recording, but it wasn't, or it would record, but the file wouldn't save properly, like it wouldn't save the whole video, it would only save half the video, or it'd chop off the end of the video, or one time the video recorded and saved just fine, but in the middle it was all scrambled. So, I don't know. I cleaned up my computer and I ran my antivirus, and everything seems to be fine. I think it's working okay now. So I hope this uploads and saves and records fine and everything goes smoothly this week. It was so bad I almost didn't have a video last week. So I had to use someone else's computer to record my video, and that was kind of a pain. So hopefully I don't experience that this week. So our topic this week is, how has your gender affected your career? Did it affect the field you chose to go into? And if you were cis, do you think you would have picked a different path? Do you feel your gender variance has hurt or helped you in gaining success in your work? Do you ever worry about your job security because of your gender? So, to answer the first question, how has gender affected my career? It hasn't. I don't think my gender has affected my career at all. So, did it affect the field you chose to go into? No, it didn't. I actually am in my current field. I'm kind of in it sort of on accident. Prior to my current job, I did nothing but retail and restaurant work. I was actually a restaurant supervisor for several years. And what happened was, several years ago, at the beginning of the recession, my company started to lay people off. And I sort of jumped ship because I didn't want to also be laid off. So I started looking for a new job, and the company I currently work for happened to be hiring. And yeah, I never done anything, you know, uh, any sort of desk work before, and I currently have a desk job. I started at the company a little bit more than about 4 or 5 years ago, and I started at an entry-level position, and over the last 4 or 5 years I've held 3 different positions within my current company. So yeah, again, it's sort of on accident. I was just applying for different jobs, anything and everything basically, and my current company seemed to like me and hire me. So I didn't think I would get hired because I didn't have any experience with desk work before. So yeah, regardless of my gender, I think I would be in the same company. So if I were cis, do I think I would have picked a different path? Yes, actually. If I identified as female, but if I identified as fully male, I do think I would have a different career right now. And the reason why I say that is for some reason, I like mechanics. I would really like to become a mechanic. I don't know why. It just appeals to me. The work appeals to me. I think I would enjoy it. I know nothing about cars, but I like cars. I like them enough, I guess. And I just find that work to be interesting. So I think I'd really like it, but the reason why I don't really make the change and go for that is because it is so male dominated. And I am literally afraid of facing discrimination on a daily basis. Not necessarily discrimination from coworkers. I think that they'd probably, for the most part, be okay, but I've never worked in a shop, so I can't really tell you for a fact, but I think the work side would be fine. It's more with customers. So, for example, my girlfriend works in hardware, and she's very knowledgeable, but on a daily basis, she is ignored, or a customer will, tell her that basically they want to talk to a guy. And anytime, a lot of the times, they actually pick a male bodied individual who has been there for probably a lot less than my girlfriend has and is not as knowledgeable. But they'd rather talk to them because they're male. So when I basically am afraid that I would be discriminated against on a daily basis by customers, and that I wouldn't be very successful because I wouldn't have any customers. So, and if I even were to start my own shop, I need to start with a shop first in order to get customers. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know if it's my area of the country or if it's just the US in general or if this is like this everywhere, but it's pretty sexist out here. Yeah, so it's probably a really bad excuse to not become a mechanic. It's not like it's my life dream or anything, it's just something that sounds appealing right now. But it's probably a bad excuse, but that's my reasoning right now. I don't know if I will eventually do that or if I won't. I don't know. But it is on my mind, and it does make me quite angry that just the sexism in general makes me very angry. And I feel that because I am a female-bodied individual and queer on top of it, that I would have a very hard time in that field. So, alright. Other question is, do you feel your gender variance has hurt or helped you in gaining success at work? No, like I said before, I really don't think my gender has really impacted my work at all. We have a lot of queer people at my job, so a lot of people who are just, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, just androgynous looking, acting people, cisgender people. So there's a good mixture there, and I do work for a pretty large company, and there's just a lot of people from different backgrounds and everything, all walks of life there. So that's pretty cool, and everyone seems to get along for the most part, or try to get along for the most part. I know I haven't outright faced any discrimination for my gender, and to my knowledge, no one else has either. I think if I were to come out at work, I think the only thing that would change for me, and this is just speculation, I don't know if this would change at all, would be maybe I might be requested to use the gender neutral bathroom. So, and we have a women's restroom, a men's restroom, and a gender neutral bathroom, which I do use sometimes, but I would probably use it more often if it wasn't out of the way. It's just farther from my desk than the women's restroom, but I don't always like using the women's restroom, so. Yeah, I think that's really probably the only change I would imagine. Again, I don't know for a fact. I'm not out as genderqueer at work, but if I were to come out, I don't think it would be a big deal at all. I don't think I would face any negativity around it. Yeah, so I do think other things have impacted my career. For example, this is getting a little bit off topic, but work, just offices in general. I like I said, I have a desk job at an office, and offices are very social. At least my experience with it is it's a very, very social place. And I'm not incredibly social at work for several reasons, but one of the reasons being that I do have a touch of social anxiety. It's nothing debilitating, but I would say it's mild to moderate, and it does spike at work. It gets worse at work for several reasons. which I won't get into, but I do tend to keep to myself a little bit more, or to a few select people when I'm at work, on a social level. Now, on a professional level, or just saying hi and bye, or just having small talk with people, I'm pretty good with that. I feel like I talk to a lot of people on a day-to-day basis, and I interact with them on a professional or a very surface level. But when it comes to actually being friendly and making friends at work, I don't have very many. And I think that that's probably impacted my career more so than my gender. So I wouldn't say it's super negative, but I don't think it's helped. So yeah. And the last question is, do you ever worry about your job security because of your gender? No. Again, not at all. I forgot to say this earlier. If I were to come out as genderqueer at work, I think most people probably wouldn't care. I think very few people would care. Maybe some gossip would go around, but that's really about it. I don't think it would be a big deal. So yeah, I don't think people would care. I don't think it would impact my professional life much at all. And I definitely do not ever see myself getting fired for a gender related reason. And yeah, kind of to go off what Joe said, I mean, that's kind of what HR is for. So, not that I ever think it would get to that point, I really don't. But if it were to get to that point, I know I have a human resources department that would back me up with that. So, yeah, I can't even see my company doing that to begin with. So, yeah, it's not an ideal place, but it's okay for now. It's a pretty good company for what it is. Pretty good. So, all right. So that's all I have to say this week. But I hope you guys have a great week, and I really hope this video comes out okay and that I'm able to load it. That'd be awesome. But yeah. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.